Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, thank you. Good evening. It is 5:33 on March 8th. We are calling the City of Clovis Lodgers Tax Meeting to order. Let's start with roll call. Will the clerk please call roll?
Thomas Martin,
Here.
Freddie Bryant, Gil Tarson,
Here.
and Commissioner Garza.
Quickest roll call we've had to date. Flying through this meeting. Approval of meeting from our last meeting on January 11th.
I'll move to approve.
I'll approve it.
Second. Seeing none, I have a motion to approve by Gail Tarson and a second by Freddie Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion has carried unanimously. So we are going to review the application for lodgers tax funds. There was initially 6 on our list. We are removing the first one, and that puts us on the second application, the livability guide. Kim, are you here for that one?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, first of all, I want to thank the board, the City of Clovis, Lodgers Tax, for the last 2 years for providing the funding for us to have a full-page ad in the New Mexico Livability Guide the last 2 years. And that's what we're coming to ask for again for 2022, is the full-page ad that's out for the whole year in the New Mexico Livability Guide. So a little bit about it. It's a national platform that showcases America's best places to live with millions of annual visitors. It's been featured on Realtor.com, MarketWatch, CNBC, Business Insider, Entrepreneur Magazine, and other national media outlets. So we look really good. This is the current one, and of course it has the Virgin Galactic, our friends on the front. But our ad looks it looks really good in here. We're right at close to the front. And so we'll change it up this year, of course, and add the new branding logo and everything in it, so.
Cool. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Any questions?
And so that starts when to when?
It'll come out, well, it's pending approval. And so as soon as we start it, it'll come out in April.
They print this every month?
So
Or is it-
the New Mexico guide is yearly. This is a yearly one.
Okay.
So, yes.
So they print that once a year?
Yes.
And so the next printing date is
It comes up in March.
March?
So
We're in March, but,
April.
okay.
We had to say, well, not say, we told them that we come and ask for funding for this. So they hold it for us until we tell them yes or no that we received the funding for it.
Okay,
So-
okay.
And what's the difference between that and all the websites we have?
It's in conjunction with a lot of it. So New Mexico Livability is also a partnership with New Mexico True. And so, but this just goes to the different places, visitor centers also, that they target.
Okay.
And it actually, along with this, we have some free digital ads that go on their certain website for New Mexico pages.
Anything else? Thanks, Kim.
Well, thanks, y'all.
Oh, and thank you for recognizing the Lodgers Tax Board at the
Well, you're very
Chamber.
well. Thank you for all your help.
Oh, yeah. Next on our list is Just Cause Barn Music Series. John and Jessica.
Hello,
Hello?
John.
appreciate you seeing me. This is my first time here in front of the Lodgers Tax Board, so please take it easy on me. I'll tell you a little bit about the Just Cause Barn. We started in 2018 with a friend that came to me and said, we've got a friend that needs help. And can we do something at the barn to try to raise some money for him? I said, you bet, that sounds like a great idea. So that's what we did. We threw a party, we didn't know what we were doing, and we raised about $850. Had about 80 people there. We decided that was a lot of fun, let's do it again. So we did. We planned it a little bit better. We had a little bit better party. We did one for Bullet Bob. You guys know when he had his wreck. We went from raising about $850 to about $2,000, and we had about 150, 170 people there. And we had some people come in from out of town, and that was really cool. And then we did another one, and then we did another one, and then we did another one, and we kept going. And to the point where the last couple of ones that we've done, we've raised over $27,000 to $32,000, depending on the event. We've had a blast, and now we want to do even more. So we have started this year the Just Cuz Barn music series, Just Cuz, which is the name of the barn, the Just Cuz Barn, because we're going to do a party for a just cause, or we're going to party just cuz. We are branding on radio stations all around Lubbock, Amarillo, Roswell, Ruidoso, Clovis, Portales, obviously. We're going to hit some Albuquerque when we have bigger venue names come in. So far, what I've come to you for this evening is we have two events coming up, one in May, one in June. The one in May is going to be a Kentucky Derby party with the band Lindsay Lane out of Amarillo. She has a song that went in the top 34, I believe, in Nashville country charts. I think 34 is where she rested about a year ago. And then she also had a song that hit the Texas country charts that went up into, I believe, the low 20s, which is a pretty amazing thing for somebody from this local community. She is a phenomenal musician. She's a lot of fun, and we want to promote the heck out of this, and we want to bring people in from all over to come see her. The Kentucky Derby party is also going to be just as it sounds, with the Kentucky Derby. We're going to be trying to bring people in from all over. We want to serve a meal. We want to have the races going. We want the women to come in their fancy dress and their nice shoes that the heels don't fall off of, and the big hats, and we're going to have a blast. So we're going to promote the heck out of this thing, and I want to make it a really big thing. The one in June 11th, I've got a band coming in out of Houston called Blacktop Revelry. They will be in Ruidoso this coming weekend. If anybody is free and would like to go see them and see what they're all about, go up to Ruidoso, get you a cabin for the night, and see Blacktop Revelry at WPS. They're a phenomenal band. They remind me a lot of like Zach Brown Band. They're three heavy-set, bearded guys wearing beanies. They're a lot of fun. So those are the events that we're going to be doing that I've come to you tonight about. The marketing that we want to do is we want to try to bring people in from out of town. We want to attract some of those crowds from Lubbock. We want to attract some of those crowds from Roswell, from Amarillo. I see people all the time talking about posting on social media saying, I went to this concert in Roswell, I went to this concert in Lubbock. Man, Clovis, why can't you ever do that? Well, we are. And I want to get the word out there, and as you guys all know, marketing and advertisement is not cheap. So that's where we're at. What kind of questions can I answer?
Gil, do you have any?
Mayor?
Yeah.
I think I've seen that on Facebook. I haven't got to attend yet, but what kind of size capacity of attendance can it accept?
So the barn, depending on weather, we can do indoor and outdoor. The indoor version is 4,800 square feet. We have a 20 by 24 foot stage that's semi-permanent. We have lighting and everything set up. We have sound that we bring in, so if the band comes in and we have to provide sound, we do that as well. We've been working with a local person to provide sound. Up to this point, we've had to bring it in from Lubbock. But if we can move to something local, that's kind of the goal. We can easily accommodate about 250 to 300 people with all the doors closed. If it's cold weather and everybody's just inside. Mm-hmm. But in past events, especially in May and in June when the weather's a little bit nicer, We have some outdoor tents that we set up as well just outside the door, and we've had over 450 people at an event, and we can accommodate a lot more than that, but our goal is about 400 on average is what we would like to see come into these.
And the count that you show here, 400 per event, is that based on past events about what you've seen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's like a mini music festival.
That's what we want, yes.
Aside from the music, do you have other attractions that will be a draw?
We do.
From out-of-towners?
So we've worked with High Plains Cornhole Association, and we have had a lot of their league nights there. We've done a lot of tournaments there, and those bring in a lot of people from out of town and out of state as well. We had a tri-state tournament that brought people in from Arizona and Texas to that event. There's a huge crowd from Albuquerque that comes down for those tournaments, and we do those quite often, and those are a lot of fun. We've had other events. We've had fun run marathons that have brought people in from out of town. Poker runs. I guess you can't call it a poker run anymore. Motorcycle run with cards involved. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about. We've done a lot of events like that, and a lot of those we've done in conjunction with some of our fundraisers as well.
The money you're asking for tonight is for a specific event, though, or is it for multiple?
The two specific events that I told you about, the Kentucky Derby May
The
7th
7th and the 11th.
and the Blacktop Revelry Concert June 11th.
And are May and June's events for a just cause or just cause at this point?
At this point, just cause.
Time of day? What time do you guys start doing?
It'll be in the evening. The Kentucky Derby party, the races start at 4 p.m., so we'll open the doors at about 3:30 p.m., and then we'll go until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that with the concert. The concert will be from about 8 to midnight. And then on the June 11th, it'll be a little bit later in the evening because there's no Kentucky Derby. We're just doing the concert for that one. So doors will open probably about 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and then there will be a food truck there, and Red Door is going to come in and set up the bar and serve drinks, and then the concert will start at about 7:30 or 8 o'clock with the first band, and then the headliner band will come on at about 9, and they'll go till about 12 or 1 o'clock.
Pay to get in? Free?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How much?
The Kentucky Derby party, because we're going to be serving a meal, and we'll have wait staff, and we'll have a lot of different costs on hand. That's going to be $30 in advance up until the week of, and then we'll increase that to $40 because we're really trying to push everybody to make their reservations early so that we can have a good head count of who's going to be there. Not just for the head count itself, but also so that we can purchase the food and everything that we need to get everything prepared the night before. And then we will also accept day of, but we're also going to, if you don't want to come and do the meal and the races and you just want to come to the concert, then we'll do a $10 ticket for advance purchase for just the concert itself, and then 15 day of. The June 11th, we're actually hoping that we can pick up a sponsor that will sponsor that event so that we can do it free to the community. But if we don't have a sponsor, then we'll probably charge around $10 or $15 on that one as well. That one has not been completely set in stone yet.
Okay.
The band's booked, but we're still in the negotiating process.
So, John, you had mentioned that you do get out-of-towners. You have got out-of-towners in previous ones. Do you have an approximate number that you?
It depends on the event. If we do a cornhole tournament, we get mostly out-of-towners. Generally, the ratio of out-of-town people and out-of-state people to in-town people is about a third in-town to 2/3 out-of-town. And you're usually looking at about 100 to 150 people that show up for those tournaments. So anywhere from 35 to 50 of those people are in town and the rest are out of town.
And most stay in hotels, to
Oh,
your
yeah.
knowledge, they do?
Yes, ma'am.
That's
Yes,
pretty
ma'am.
good. Okay.
Yeah, because usually those tournaments go pretty late, so they're usually 2-day tournaments. So they'll come in, a lot of times they'll come in the night before. If the tournament's on a Saturday, Sunday, then they'll come in on Friday and they'll stay the night, and then they'll tournament all day Saturday, stay the night Saturday night, and then tournament Sunday, and then they'll either leave and go back Sunday night, or they'll stay one more night and go back on Monday.
These two events that we're looking at right now, is
Yes.
there a tournament in either of those, or is it just the music?
No, ma'am, it's just
Just
the
the
music.
music?
This is just a music series.
Okay. So we shouldn't expect that kind of turnout from out of town?
We can. That's the goal.
Sure, absolutely. In the past, when you've done just concerts, do you have a count for how many out-of-towners you get generally for those in comparison to the tournaments?
It's usually reversed. It's usually about
One
a
third?
third come from out of town.
Okay.
And when I say out of town, we get a lot of people that come out of Dimmitt, Muleshoe, Hereford, Freona. We get a lot of people come from Fort Sumner, and usually what we'll do is we'll try to talk to one of the hotels in town, and we'll try to make a deal on a
Block or
a
something.
rebate of block of rooms or something, and we'll advertise that with the event. And then that way people from out of town, if they've got to drive, 60, 75 miles, they don't want to come and they want to drink and then drive all the way home.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll get hotel rooms and stay the night. So
Very good. Thank you.
absolutely. Any other questions?
Where is the barn located?
Right in front of the Curry County Event Center. So if you're standing on the front steps of the event center looking out across the parking lot, you're looking at the barn. In fact, Casey with Curry County Event Center and I have worked really well in conjunction with each other. And a lot of my bigger events, he allows me to open up gate 15, and we use the Curry County Event Center parking for our parking to kind of overflow. And then we go over there and we clean up the parking lot real good for him, and he likes that.
That's a good handshake.
And your T-shirts and stuff, is that going to be given away, or is that?
Yes, those are going to be giveaways. So the part of what I'm planning on doing is I'm really trying to target some of the base to come out. So the marketing on the base is a little bit different. It's a little bit more difficult to get all the way across the base because there's so many different avenues of marketing through the base. They're doing it's like a beer tasting event. It's called Raise the Glass on April 29th. And I have purchased a sponsor table at that, and myself and Jessica are both going to go to that, and we're going to give out T-shirts, and we're going to give out caps, and we're going to give out koozies, and we're going to give out just all kinds of things that we can for the Just Cuz Barn, just to kind of brand it and get it out there and say, hey, come join us.
Sounds good.
You've built a really cool deal. You have.
Well, thank you.
I've heard
really
about
like
it.
We enjoy it, and the word is getting out there. So, and that's the goal. So, cool. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, real quick.
Yes.
Maintenance, website design and maintenance. Maintenance is not a covered, is that correct, Leanne? It is covered, or I'm correct? Okay, so website maintenance is not design, and creation is.
Okay.
And then on your date of publication, so, I mean, you've got, so one thing, looking over your total marketing cost, to compare it to Dragon Main. So it's an 8-day event. It's one of the biggest in the city, and
Yes.
I think your budget is as close. It's nearing it. So you've got 20,000 in radio, and then no dates of how long anything's running. So it just says May 7th and June 11th. I mean,
So,
right.
I didn't know if we could apply the way that I typically do is just one event, and I'll give you the dates. So since we were doing it in two different, for two different events, I felt like we could elaborate on those dates. So on the May 7th, we've actually started branding him right now on the radio. So come like April 1st, we'll start hitting it really hard for the May 7th event all the way up to, and then we'll taper off, and then actually we'll go all the way through May up to his June 11th. So starting April 1st all the way through June 11th, it'll actually be just straight branding hard.
Yep.
All our marketing will increase, and then after that it'll taper back down.
yeah, and you'll actually start hearing some of those radio ads as early as, I believe, this Saturday. We've already purchased radio through Rooney Moon. I'm meeting with KTQM this week to go ahead and get radio started with them. And then Jessica's working with me to get Lubbock and Amarillo and Roswell on board as well and purchase that radio. So we're purchasing about 3.5 months worth of radio for these two events.
Okay.
That's part of why the cost is what it is. Because this is part of, it's not only just advertising the events, but it's branding the business as well. And then getting the word out there for what we're doing so that I'd kind of like to see some posts from people in Roswell that says, hey, I went to Clovis this concert. Roswell, why can't you do this? Instead of the other way around.
Okay. And then,
Once we get him branded out there, it won't be such a heavy, we're really hitting it hard right now to make everybody aware.
so anything purchased prior to the approval, any approval is not covered,
Right.
just so you know. Okay.
Okay.
And that's not from us, that's from the commission. That approval. I think those were those were the notes I had. Anything else?
No, that's covered.
Thank you both.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Next up, Homebuilders Association. Hi, Robin.
Hello. Sorry. Shocking. Sparky tonight. Thanks again for letting us come and ask for money. We appreciate your support in the past. As you know, the Home and Garden Show got torpedoed the last couple years with COVID, so we have not been able to hold this event, but we are super excited to bring it back to the community. In the past, it's been more than 35 years. The Home and Garden Show has been presented by the Homebuilders Association, which is a nonprofit, and we are going to hold the event April 2nd and 3rd at the Curry County Event Center. We're a little late asking for money just because we weren't sure 100% that it was going to be a go until just a couple weeks ago. But we are moving forward. We've already are filling up. We are featuring the Citizens Bank of Clovis demonstration stage with workshops and demonstrations on the hour at the event both days. Rooney Moon is one of our media partners, is doing the Kids Zone, which you may have already heard them talking about on the radio. That they will be doing bouncy houses and activities, including a scavenger hunt through the booths to encourage the kids to interact with the booths as well as their parents. And just a great event for everyone. We're excited to bring it back, and I think most of you have probably been out there. And Tom, you guys have been in it, Gail as well, so I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Let's see. Any information on overnight stays? As a,
Well, yes.
obviously, it's a
Obviously,
two-night,
it's been
so
a
all
couple
your
years.
vendors.
Yeah, typically we have a good chunk of our vendors are, I think about 50% of our exhibitors are from outside of the area. They come and set up on Friday and stay Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the event. Some go back on Sunday, depending on how far away they are, because we end at 5. So some of them stay that extra night and others go. But we know that at least 50% of our people are, and that's at least one or two rooms, depending on who all's manning that booth.
How many vendors?
Usually between 80 and 100.
Half of those come in from
Yeah.
out?
We have a strong group. We've just, years ago, it really started to support the home builders and the local services and locally, but over the course of the last 10 years prior to COVID, we've really seen a shift towards including lifestyle. And that's one of the reasons we also changed our name to Home Garden and Lifestyle Show, because we have, skincare, health and wellness, and exercise machines, jewelry, food, a lot of different things that have come to participate as well. So it's grown, it's expanded. Right now, we are looking about half of our exhibitors coming in this year are from out of town.
Very good.
We also draw attendees from all over. There's not another home and garden show between us and Lubbock, Amarillo, so we have a really good draw into Texas, as well as up to Tucumcari, Santa Rosa, and then any other show Roswell doesn't even have a home and garden show right now, so we've drawn from there as well.
On your advertising plan and budget, you've got
Yes.
gift certificates and door prizes from local businesses.
Yes.
No and yes.
Okay. No on gift certificates?
Right.
Yes
That
on,
would be, that would be comparable to cash.
okay. So we're gonna,
Even if it's used with vendors at the show? Okay.
and then your total marketing cost is now 14.2?
14.6.
Well, we
believe.
just removed 400.
Oh, correct.
And then, but you're asking for 10,000.
Correct.
You drive a hard bargain.
Yeah. Well, we've had a tough couple of years. You know, this is our main source of income to
Well, no.
sustain our
I mean,
organization.
if your
so,
total is
yeah.
I just didn't know why you
Oh,
weren't
that's
asking
just for
40.
advertising, because we also have, we rent this.
No, I didn't,
center,
why aren't,
so-
but you asked
Not
for 10,000.
asking for 14.
Oh, you want me to
14.6.
ask for 14? Oh,
If that's your marketing budget.
well,
I mean,
I kind of, well, yeah, why should, it gives us some wiggle room for those gift certificates and other things. You know, we have some costs here that might not be included, so, and also we have spent some of it to date, and we know we can't ask for all of that. So there will be some that we've expended that wouldn't fall under this. We also, we're only asking for 1,000 for the radio stations because we know we have a tighter timeline and we have spent some money already. So this is kind of, looking at, but if you want to give me 14,000, Thomas, I would be very, very excited.
well, I mean, if that's your,
It
if it's-
is. It is. It is what we spend. We just, it's been such a weird couple of years, and we just weren't sure where things would flex and land, and so we were comfortable asking for this number in case for some reason something came in under as well.
and then I just
Oh.
turned, go ahead.
I'm sorry, and I should also say that we bought bags that we weren't able to use because the show didn't happen. So we do have some tote bags for everybody as they come through this year that are just gorgeous. I know, I'm so sorry. I saw that, I was gonna say, do I call that out myself or will somebody else find it? Thanks, Claire.
She doesn't miss anything.
I know.
And then I just turned the page and I highlighted 50% of our exhibitors are from outside of Clovis. So
Yeah.
thanks for, I was a test to see if you,
Oh, hallelujah.
actually, I just forgot.
No, we're pretty confident with that number. I think, it's, obviously, we just, at this point, aren't 100% sure, things. We had several exhibitors who said if they had to wear a mask, they wouldn't show up. And so we had to, as soon as that was announced, it was like full steam ahead.
Okay.
So we're really comfortable and confident that we're going to be able to have a great show this year.
Good. Ready? Gail? Thanks, Robin.
Thank you all very much. Thanks, Claire.
I said it as a joke. I didn't know that.
Clovis Main Street, Lisa, you're up.
I'm gonna walk carefully up here, but this is a different board. But Gail, we need to work on a shoe store. Claire, we're in town.
Retail committee.
Yes, retail committee. Thank you guys for having me. Good evening. I would like to go over the Children's Action Entrepreneurs Business Fair first, if that works for you guys.
Got it.
So this was by far probably my favorite event that I've ever hosted. This was an incredible event, and thank you guys for supporting it this past fall. We're really hoping to at least do it once a year, if not twice a year. We had the kids asking us if we would do it monthly, but it just, it's a lot of work. So it is a children's entrepreneur fair where it allows the kids to set up their own booths and sell products that they make, and it is something that they have to make on their own. There was a picture in the back of your packet that shows some of the booths and the activity, and it was a packed event. We had 32 booths and 41 kids that participated in this event. So some of the booths had more than one child that was actually putting on the event and doing their booth. So some of them made the products together. Some of them were helping, sell the products. It was a really wonderful event. We had actually quite a few booths that even sold out of all their products. So it was fantastic. And it gives the kids an opportunity to learn how to make a product, market a product, and sell a product, and then understand their profit margins and what their expenses were. So it helps them identify what it takes to be an entrepreneur and to be a business owner. And like I said, the kids just had a blast. We had people coming in from out of town. We had live radio remote. We gave away T-shirts and had a fun time. The kids had little masks that all said that they were, entrepreneurs, and was a really wonderful event. We had quite a few participants that came from just our surrounding area as well too, and then families that came from out of town to come in and visit it and watch it and support their kiddos. Really cool event. So this would be for in the spring, and we'd like to host one in the spring. So April 30th is what we're looking for as our date for this event. And like I said, it's just a wonderful opportunity for our kids to learn how to be entrepreneurs and support, growing our local economy through our local youth.
Okay. Thanks, Lisa.
Any questions on that one?
Yeah, the other one you did was the first one.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And were you able to get a count of how many of those really did come from outside that could have produced overnight stays?
You know what?
do
I
you gauge that?
have the children's reports at the house, at my office. I've got the report of where all the kids came from. But you know what? I didn't even think to bring that with me tonight, and I apologize. But we marketed it to all the outside areas as well too. We did Grady, we did Farwell, Texaco, Muleshoe, Portales, and all the way out Canyon, Shallow Water, all those areas. And we recruited some kids in from outside those areas. I know we had quite a few that are past. There was a family of 3 kids that come from past Portales. I forget the little town that's out past there. Elida, yeah. And so I know we had some that were coming in. I don't know if that generated the hotel room nights, but I know that it was, we actively marketed out of town, and we did get kids that were from outside just the Clovis region. So, and their families were coming in from out of town too to come and see it. So they were spending time in our restaurants and in our stores and stuff here in town while they were here. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What time is the event?
Last time we did it from 11 to 2. Or 11 to 3, I think it was 11 to 3. And we ended up with the wind kicking up about 2:30, so we had to close it just a little bit early. It was about 2:30 when we closed it, and most of the kids had sold out by then. So it was fast and furious. We had a big turnout. We have some video from it as well too that I'd be happy to share with you guys and send you. It was just a really cool event. As you can see from those pictures, the people came out and supported those kids like you wouldn't believe. So it was really wonderful.
On your anticipated attendance, it's a huge, either 200 or 2,500. Thoughts on that?
Well, I know we'll have at least 200 with the participants that we had. So I know that there would be that, but we didn't do a full attendance record on it because it was so fast and furious. And it was our first one. We kind of didn't really know how to manage the attendance. We did it in the open parking lot downtown, so people didn't have to pay to get into the event. It was a free event for the community, and I estimated that we had over 1,500 people that came to that event, and we think that this will grow as well too because we had such a good turnout from the first one.
I think I didn't have any more questions.
I did.
Any other questions? Okay.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Lodgers Tax Board, I just have a question for Lisa. I was looking at the budget from the last event, and it was a wonderful event. You'd asked for 8,850, and I see that current expenditures are at 7,500.
Yes.
So you had a differential there of 1,300. Is there something else that's still to come for that, or is there something that you're doing extra this time, or what's the?
Yeah, this last time, thank you, Claire. Last time we did come under our budget, and I did note that. I'm sorry I didn't report on that, but we came under budget last time because we had trouble with COVID with getting some supplies in that we were planning to utilize for marketing and for the giveaways for the kids, and so we weren't able to get those in time, so we weren't able to use that. And then we did end up having, because we weren't able to get the ones that were hoping to order in time, we did have a local vendor that actually donated some T-shirts for the kids that I'm not certain that they would be willing to do again this time, but because we were in that last minute crunch, they were very, very nice and provided that for our kiddos. So we ended up saving some money last time because we weren't able to get it in stock in time. And then we had a support from a local vendor that helped us.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Lisa.
Mr. Chairman. Members.
Thanks. You have the next application for Fourth Friday's Downtown Market.
Yes. So we have been working on, as you guys know, we've had Food Truck Fridays last year, and they were really successful, and they brought in a lot of people into the downtown district. We are wanting to expand that into a monthly event and include a market event. So we would do a maker's market along with food trucks, and we would also have additional activities such as games, outdoor games, a live radio remote with, we've been working with Rooney Moon on booking that so that way then we could have a live radio remote at each one of the events and have live music from it. We've been working with Dragging Maine on having car clubs and cars that could be out there, motorcycle clubs that could also be out there on display. Creating a big downtown event that would be a big maker's market every month and would host all of those different pieces. It'd be a great tourism activity that would draw in local entrepreneurs, small businesses, food services into the district, and really promote what we have here in Clovis and bring in people. Our food truck events do bring in people from out of town on a regular basis. We have people that I sit out there for a lot of hours on those Fridays, cleaning tables and emptying trash and meeting people, and there's quite a few people that come in off the highway and come and enjoy the event, and it's even on social media and everything, so they find it and they come. And I've had a great time meeting people, and they want to come just because of it. And it's a big draw for downtown for all day, even afternoon through evening. And we wanted to expand on it. We wanted to make it into a once-a-month event that would host makers that provide local services. We have a lot of businesses here that are small business owners that don't have a storefront, that do Etsy sales, that do online marketing sales, that are makers and go to craft events out of town. And I wanted to utilize this event to bring them in, draw them here. We're also working with Tucumcari Main Street and creating an opportunity to utilize this as a draw for both of our communities, where we will support their merchants here and draw them to Clovis, and then as well as try to recruit our merchants over to their event as well too. So that way then we can get the whole entire eastern New Mexico familiar with these makers and spread the word for them, so that way then they can hopefully provide more services and hopefully become local business owners and open up storefronts.
Okay, thanks, Lisa.
Yeah.
Gail, Jordan.
No questions.
You've got 9 events listed for the year. When does it start?
So I'm hoping to start at least by April, potentially March if possible.
And that would, it would run into 2023?
Yeah, we would do 9 events. So we would do it all through December. And we have been successful with doing the food truck events even during November, December timeframe we did it. We did take off January and February just because we've had more colder months. So we didn't want to do it during that time, but we would like to try to do a total of 9 events with this. And we even have some that we might have to do twice a month because we have some other bigger events that are happening downtown, so we'll pair it with that as well too.
What time does it end?
We'd like to say 8 p.m. is really our realistic time that we would like to have. You know, if people stay around longer, if there's still, purchases that are happening, the vendors then can decide if they want to stay later, if they still have customers that are coming to visit them, but we don't want to run it till it's too late in the evening.
Then they'll want to stay the night.
Well, we want them to stay the night, but we don't want to run it too late. We do have a lot of cars that still drag Maine on Friday evenings and stuff on a regular basis. So we want to keep it as, as family friendly and everything as possible and not go till too dark at night. But yes, 8 p.m. I think most people would be spending the night if they're just starting to tear down their booths and so forth and needing to set up.
Anticipated attendance, again, you've got a big, so on, I guess last year's food truck events, what was, do you have any numbers on?
Our food trucks events usually range right around the 1,000 mark. We usually had about 1,000 people at those events on a regular weekly basis. So by doing this, we feel like this will be even a bigger draw by having a monthly event and having Makers Market out there with it as well too. We think that it'll really capture a lot more people. So I would estimate that we're gonna have quite a turnout for it. Our food trucks draw a lot as it is, but then the makers we think will be a big draw. And then also because we're working with Dragging Maine on having different vehicles out there, different car clubs, we're working with the Cornhole Association to hopefully have them out there as well too. So that way then they can have events, we'll have outdoor games and so forth as well too, because we have a great big lawn out in the 8th and Main parking lot.
And right now, we really don't know what kind of draw from out of town we would have. This being a new event.
Right.
The Food Truck Fridays, I doubt they brought anybody from out of town.
They actually did quite a bit. Like I said, I would be sitting out there and people would tell me, oh, we saw this online and we wanted to come and stop, and we're looking at things to do as we're traveling, and came in because we saw it as an event that was happening. And I would say there wasn't a single week that I would sit out there on Food Truck Friday that I wouldn't meet people that were from out of town. It was really surprising.
Were they staying the night, or were they just passing through?
Well, I was out there mostly during the afternoons, so I clean up in the evenings, and we did close that event usually by 6, 7 o'clock, and as the year got later and then got darker earlier, we'd close it up a little bit early. So most of the time I was out there during the daytime and meeting people, and that's where I would say, people were there during the lunch hour and, 2 o'clock time frame that were from out of town. But they're stopping and spending money at our businesses, which is great.
I think that was all I had.
That's all.
Any other questions? Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
members of the Lodgers Tax Board, Ms. Pellegrino Spear, I do not believe, looking at the eligible uses of tax proceeds, section 2.105.2.8, that the canopies would be an eligible use under the advertising, publicizing, and promoting tourist-related attractions, facilities, and events.
And the canopies, so I put a printout of it in there for you guys, and those would have, the reason why we would do those ones, they would have logos on all 4 sides of those, like how the chamber does for music festival and Dragging Maine and so forth. So it would have all the logos on it, just like they did with theirs.
But it would be just for the day of the event, so it would not be.
And it's not
promoting the
drawing
event.
people in, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just making it easier for the people that are attending, but it wouldn't be
Okay.
a promotional item.
Okay.
Thank you, Claire.
Yeah, I missed that one. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Claire. Thanks, Lisa. Mr. Hadley, we had an addition. Curry County Mounted Patrol, Mr. Richard Hadley.
Good evening, and thank you all for all your support that you've given us in the past. And I'm here representing the Curry County Mounted Patrol, and we put on the Pioneer Days Rodeo. This year will be on June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're going to be celebrating our 50th, which we should have celebrated 2 years ago, but because of COVID restrictions, we've had to cancel our rodeo the past couple of years. Again, it's going to be in June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So PRCA sanctioned rodeo. It's, I believe, the only professional sporting event that comes to Clovis. We're excited about being able to have it again this year. We've done a few different things. We've been able to sanction it with, we've always been sanctioned with the Turquoise Circuit, which is New Mexico and Arizona, and we've always been sanctioned with the Texas Circuit, because it's just 8 miles away. This year we've been able to sanction along with the Prairie Circuit, which includes Oklahoma and Kansas, and we thought we were going to get the Mountain State Circuits as well, which is Colorado and Wyoming, but they didn't go for the PRC didn't go for that. So we're hoping that'll help us draw some more contestants in here, and we do get contestants from all over the country anyway, but by sanctioning with the Prairie Circuit and the Texas Circuit and the Turquoise, the money won here helps them qualify for their circuit finals in each one of their circuits. And basically, as far as rooms, we probably fill about 25 that we know, 25 rooms that we get for our stock contractors, specialty acts, people that come in for our rodeo, and they're generally here for 4 to 5 days. And I know not very many of the contestants spend the night. We do have people that come in from Amarillo, Lubbock, Roswell, that'll come in and spend a night, come to the rodeo one night, and we draw as far out as about 100 miles from here, and we advertise on radios, and Jeff Lynn, he does a lot of stuff for us on our website and Facebook and things like that.
Sorry, we're just reading through. If you have anything else.
No, I'll try to answer any questions y'all might have about our rodeo.
One question I have, so the last time you got funding, it was 20,000, and this one is requesting 53, so more than double. What are you doing different this time?
Basically, this is the same application that we did, I believe, basically, we just took the numbers off the last application we did, for the most part. It's what we, and we've always, I think y'all actually awarded us 25 the last year, but the last time we came, but we didn't get to use any of it because we didn't have the rodeo.
It says 20,000 in the application, though.
Yeah, it says 20,000 in the application. So last time you requested the same amount, 53,000?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
But
we
we're
did.
awarded 20
Yes.
or 25. Okay. Okay.
Not as shy as other people.
I don't have any other questions.
Can you tell us what the video board is?
Excuse me?
The video board?
What is it?
How you're planning on using the video board?
We use it for advertising. We put our sponsors on there. It's a replay board, so where they can. We'll have cameras there that will replay the action, each run or whatever. And then also there's a possibility that this could also be on the Cowboy Channel station this year. And the guy that's bringing the video board in is connected with them as well. And if they're needing a rodeo that weekend, there's a strong possibility that our rodeo could be on the Cowboy Channel.
During the event?
Yes. We don't know that for sure, but they said that was a chance.
But otherwise, the video board is just for displaying during the event?
Yes.
So it won't be anything to draw anybody in?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
But if we could work with them, with our marketing person, to promote events that happen in Clovis, then that would give individuals options of other things that they could do during the day or while they're here or to come back to. So that
Gotcha.
was also that would be a possibility to make it eligible.
Is it eligible as it is stated here, though?
No.
Okay. Did that make sense to you, what she was saying of how it could be eligible?
Yes.
So if you're promoting okay.
Fred, do you have anything? Claire, do you have anything?
No, thank you, sir.
Mr. Hadley, I think we're good.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, sir.
Y'all have a good evening.
So that finishes the review of the applications. Do you need to take a break?
I'm okay.
All right, we are going to begin the review process for funding. With regard to, do we want to talk now about fiscal numbers?
Yeah, right now we don't have enough money to fund everybody.
So, Mr. Chairman, I did the run, so our budget for full lodger's tax for the 8 months is about 383,000. We're actually in collections 464,000. So of that overage of 32,000 is applicable to lodging funds. So if you take what we have budgeted right now for the next 2 meetings, 130,000 for each meeting, plus another 16,000 of that 32. That's not included in the 130, so about 142,000.
For each
A little
meeting?
bit of money left over from some of the events that did come in under budget or under their request.
Thank you. All right. Start at the beginning.
Sure.
Oh, this is cozy. So livability guide, requesting 73. And I get the first question we ask is, does it generate tourism?
I know this comes up every time we have one of the print ads come. I mean, it's good exposure to have out there, but without having something that shows what it's bringing back to the community is what makes it questionable. So. And they don't have to do a full page either. If we're going to approve something, it doesn't necessarily have to be a full page.
Yeah, these are the tough ones because we're throwing darts.
Right.
So, okay. Thoughts? 4,000, 5,000?
Yeah. And 4. I know, right? Yeah,
Thank
one
you.
of those.
Livability guide, 4,000.
Can we offer comments back or anything? Do we want to offer any comments back? So can we just?
Sure.
Right now?
So, we don't have to.
We don't need to, okay.
All right, so Just Cause Barn.
And we don't have any issues with the fact that it's private, that it's not nonprofit.
Okay.
Yes, Mr.
Is that a problem?
I'm thinking potentially. I sent Jessica a text, but you didn't hear back. And your phone number may have changed, darling. Is this a 501 or is it? I saw it was an LLC. It's a for profit. Yeah, so it's a.
Not a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Is it just taken into consideration while we're doing it?
Or is it ineligible? Do you have to be a 501c3 nonprofit or a nonprofit
Well,
too?
I would need to look at that a bit more. The only thing I was wondering about, I was thinking about things in the past. You have to forgive me. I haven't been doing this for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But when you've had the fighting activities at the Civic Center, I think the group that did that was a for-profit. I'm not sure though. That is a for-profit. So if that's the case, then
it would
you
be
have done it
eligible.
before.
Okay. Yeah, if we've done it in the past.
Yeah,
then
I didn't know if we had anything. I don't think we'd ever discussed it in the past. I've never seen it raised.
Yeah, and I don't know what that looks like really.
And does it matter if it's bringing in night stays? Does it matter if it's nonprofit or if it's not a disqualifier? Then
I've never
Yeah.
seen it noted.
No.
Okay.
okay.
But Chairman, there have been times that the board has disallowed something that was just specific to, a for-profit. So we've had it go both ways.
Okay.
So this is a little different for us.
Okay.
It's new.
Yeah.
Really, and in the end, what we're really looking at is what's the potential for overnight stays and visitors spending money in the community, right?
Yes, but that could be for any event that anybody, like a Diamonds Evermore event. But it's a for-profit organization that's bringing people in from out of town
Right.
to an event, say that you were holding, or if I had a business that I was holding, that I would be benefiting from personally.
That's why I think we need some clarification here, though.
Well, I know we had a woman approach us for a billboard for her private business, but it was we were paying for her marketing, in this case, we're paying for the marketing of a specific event, and I think that's what, if it's a specific event, because if we, because the event center that hosts Curry County Event Centers and that hosts a concert,
Mm-hmm.
we've paid for marketing for that,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not.
They're a 50, I mean, they're a governmental entity.
Oh, are they?
Not global.
Global Spectrum. No, but the people who own it. Yeah, Global's for profit.
So, okay. So what do we do?
And it's entirely up to you. I mean, what do you?
Right,
You're the,
yeah,
you're
I mean, I just, it's a little bit unusual.
Okay.
It's
I
just not
think-
something that happens often.
I think if you'd like to move ahead, then
I
we could
guess
check with the city attorney
prior
tomorrow and
to
have a
the
conversation, and
city
then if there's a
commission?
problem, then we can let the
Yeah.
commission know when.
I
it
guess
comes
this
to
is a
commission.
recommendation at this point, and if we're
That's
wrong,
correct.
we're wrong.
That's correct.
Okay, deal.
If that
Uh,
works.
And then talking about how much. So I do think that's a lot. to
Sure. So,
fund for,
yeah, one of the things that I look at, just so you know, is I look at the overall funding amount versus the number of like per attendee. So we would spend, if you had 400 come per event, we would spend $43 to get a single person to come at the current, like, that's how much we would be spending just to get one person in the door. And again, looking at what we just funded, are the biggest event that we have in the city, which
Yes.
is, yeah, the 8-day huge event is almost on par with that. So, and I know you're trying to get this out, but in the past, we have heard so many more people when they come back from, how did people find out about it? It was through social media, which is $400, and then we have $20,500 just on radio. So it's a lot, and I know you're trying to get the word out. So, thoughts on any other discussion points?
well, I do think it's gonna bring in some folks, and I'd like to see some funding go here, considering that it is okay, that we find out that it's okay to fund, but what do we say if we were to do 12,000? See what they can do with that. And I'm throwing that out for consideration.
Yeah, my initial was 10 to 15 is where I was going. Freddie, you have a thought, you have a number?
No, that sounds pretty good.
Which one?
Who do you like better, him or me?
Well, I threw out a range.
I know, I was right in the middle.
Want to do 12? Okay. So 12,000?
And I'll just confirm with the city attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Home builders?
Are we doing the whole 14? Is she requested, we're doing the requested 14 on her?
No, I think we'll just do the
The
10.
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'm good fully funding that one.
2-day.
Show's always been good.
Let's see. I think previous we did 8.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Match it.
Yep.
Okay. 8,000 on home builders. So the entrepreneur and business fair.
So thoughts on that one? We're giving 8,000 to the Homebuilders Association, who they have a known following, and they do bring in 50% of theirs are guaranteed out of town.
On a
The-
2-day event.
On a 2-day event, and the the children's fair I think is great, but I question how much we really bring in for a 4-hour event that ends at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, and and when we asked our first question is, does it bring in people?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's a tough one.
yeah.
And the last time we did fund it was with anticipation, but I don't know that it's shown to
Yeah, those initial
bring in
ones.
the, so.
So do we fund it all, or do you? I mean, yeah, I mean, if it doesn't do it, then it doesn't do it.
Right.
So, but,
I think it's a great event, but I don't see it. I don't see it demonstrating or creating a time frame that would allot or require a night stay.
So Lisa, we're not gonna fund this one, just due to the time frame, not probably it being from 11 to 3, it's not gonna generate overnight stays. Yeah, and first-time events, we also look at that. But yeah, there are times where I think we feel like it fits. And that is one of the things it looks at, but if the very first question we ask is, does it bring in, room nights and, tourism? I don't think that's, if we can't answer that first one positively, we don't move forward with the rest of them.
Kind of a qualifier.
Well, I think it's tourism is the biggest one, and I don't know if this generates tourists. Okay.
It's hard to justify for a 4-hour event, is what I'm saying, yeah.
So, which I totally agree, and I know it was well attended, but do you have any numbers on anybody outside of Clovis being participants? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So,
Doesn't change in my mind,
well,
but I would,
if it's bringing in people from out of town, that's the tourist. I guess that's what we're defining a tourist as. And if that person from out of town is Texaco or Farwell or surrounding areas, it's not generating overnight stays, so that isn't a positive. So, but it does qualify in that case if it's bringing, families from out of town that are into Clovis where they wouldn't have been. So, do you want to do 4,000?
Are there things that you can do to get us better numbers next time? Because right now we are hearing that it brings in, but we have no idea really a quantitative number of, and does it result in any overnight stays? Or are they coming in for the event to support the kids and then going home? Again, because it's such a short window and it closes out so early in the day that it's likely not resulting in any overnight stays. It might result in lunch. But You understand, though, it just makes it so much easier for us to make a call when we have some more substantive numbers. And it's hard when we just think people are coming in. So any hard numbers that we can get, it does make it a lot easier for us to fund it. So if you want to do half of it on this one and see what they can do with numbers on the next one,
So 4,500?
sure.
Thanks, Lisa. 4,500. Fourth Fridays on downtown. So breaking it down, it's 4,000 an event.
Yeah, I think
So if you
it's a
if
first
you
time.
remove the 9,000,
Oh, true. Thank you.
it's just under $3,000 an event. Yeah, and
Yeah, and- Go ahead.
Curry County's just submitted an application for a T-Mobile grant for sales, I believe, out there, haven't they?
Yeah, but if it doesn't qualify, it doesn't qualify. I mean, it's a great thing, and I know you need shade, but if lodgers tax funds can't cover it, it can't cover it. So, do you want to do? I mean, it's through the end of the year. We have other periods to have her come
Come
back.
right? Yeah, instead of going the whole, yeah.
So do you want to do, how many events do you want to do? Half of them? 4 of them? 8 events? 9. We could do the first 4. So how many meetings, what are our meeting dates going forward?
May and July. Every other odd month.
Well, I was just wondering if we do, because you've got to mark it.
One more in this
Yeah.
fiscal.
Yeah, there's one more in this fiscal year, if that's what you're asking.
Oh, so,
More in the
The fiscal year ends on June the 30th, so you just have one more meeting between now and then.
a third.
so let's see. Lisa, you said you're starting in April? April, May, June. Okay, so yeah, April, May, June. Come back in May for July. So, you want to do 9,000?
9, yeah. That's
So
kinda
Lisa,
how
we're gonna
I'm
do
coming up.
9,000 to cover April, May, and June.
Let's see how those
Come
go.
back in May, the May meeting, with some with numbers. Oh, you're doing end.
Second Tuesday.
So we could, so July. Dang it.
Want to just round up to 15?
So,
15 is still more than half.
well, or the July meeting. So, yeah, what do
This
you
is
want to do?
another new event that we don't really know what it's going to do.
So
We're anticipating.
15,000.
Yeah, that's what I'd like.
So 15,000. Come back in July.
That's more than half, so. And the Pioneer Days.
3-day event. 5,000 people. We know it brings people in.
It does, and it's guaranteed for the stock alone. But I think the jump from 20 to 50 is.
Well, that's what they funded. That's what we funded. So do we want to go 25? Okay. So 25,000. And that is all the applications. Do I have a motion to approve the recommendations?
68,500, just so you have a total.
Okay.
I motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, first by Gail, second by Freddie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Motion is carried. Before ending the meeting, is there anything for the good of the order?
So then will you be letting us know what the attorney says on the
Yes,
nonprofit?
I'll send him the application. I'll
Before-
speak with
okay.
him in the morning and get
Just
his
so we
advice.
know for future.
Yes,
how that
yes, I think it'd be
stands.
helpful for you. And it may well be fine. I just wanted to, better be safe than sorry.
For sure. Yeah, that was my only question on that one, is it being the private.
All right, there being no further business discussed, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you all.